If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear, the camera's here.
Hello YouTube, welcome back to Jerry's NBA Talk TV. I'm NBA Jerry, and thank you for watching. A lot of things going on in the NBA in the last 24 hours. Big news with the All-Star selections and the big games and stuff like that. So let's talk about the Heat and Orlando Magic game. It was kind of a blowout game. Miami Heat pretty much dominated the game, as you guys probably seen it. LeBron James, he went off. He was acting like he was mad at the Orlando Magic GM. LeBron James, I love him as a player, but to me, his personality is, so-so, because he can do this every game. I'm not saying he can score 50 points every game, but I'm talking about having that chip on his shoulder every single night. Don't just pick and choose it from when a guy makes you mad and stuff like that. Do that every night. And then, joke around and play around, when you're not playing the game. So, but with that being said, LeBron James to me is the MVP of the league right now. And I'm going to tell you guys why. Obviously, LeBron has showed his value, like I said this before, with his absence in Cleveland and the numbers he's putting up in Miami. I mean, folks, he's the best all-around basketball player we have in this league. And we haven't seen a player like this before. So this guy is a walking triple-double. I mean, he can do it all. So to me, he's the most valuable player again. I don't know if he'll get it because of the votes, but there's no one playing better than LeBron James right now. But as far as the Orlando Magic is concerned, Brandon Bass was out of the game. They just looked real lethargic last night. I like what Miami did and not playing Big Z a lot of big minutes. They actually played Dampier a lot against Dwight Howard because of his size. Obviously, Anthony's too small. Joel Anthony's too small for Dwight Howard. Big Z's too slow for him. So, it was a good mix of centers, putting Eric Dampier in there as well. So it was a very well-played game. I know you've seen when Dwayne Wade got hurt when he fell on his back. That was a scary play. But Dwayne Wade is definitely, playing hurt right now. He's a warrior. You got to give him a lot of credit. And the Orlando Magic still have some work to do with the key additions. Gilbert Arenas is still not Gilbert Arenas yet, and it was a rivalry game and it was a big hype and everything else. But, the Miami Heat's a better team right now, to me. Orlando Magic still missing a few things. Like I said before, they're missing a leader and they're missing toughness. And if you watch before the game, because there's a lot of things I call game within the game. And if you didn't notice this, but Dwight Howard, before the game started, he was mimicking LeBron James. He was mimicking his pregame routine, and he was acting silly. And he's, I don't know if you've seen the Adidas commercial, but he said, the game's over, fun time's over, whatever he said, basically saying he's not going to play around anymore, and he still does it, And to me, if you're going to win a championship and you're going to be competitive, be serious when you're on the basketball court. And LeBron James has done a better job. He did it, obviously did it against Orlando Magic. But Dwight Howard needs to be consistent with that. Show that he is a leader and show that he has some toughness. He's one of the strongest guys we have in our league. So until Dwight Howard does that, step up in his leadership and also in his toughness, Orlando Magic's not going to go that far. So we'll see what happens in the second half of the season. Let's talk about the Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs. That was a great game. I mean, that was a really good game. I actually stayed up and watched that. I was going to do a video last night, but it was really, really late. But what a game. I mean, for the Lakers, that hurt. That game hurt because they actually played hard, for a change. But even though the Spurs won in LA, I know everybody's saying the Spurs are the best team, but they're not, folks. And I'm going to tell you why. Spurs right now are playing better. I will admit that. But at the end of the day, the Lakers are a better team. And there's a difference. Just because a team is playing better doesn't mean that they're better. The San Antonio Spurs are a great team. They're a championship contender. But in a 7-game series, in my opinion, with the 2 7-footers, Bynum and Gasol in there, they don't have enough for them. Tim Duncan is a great player, but he can't take both of those guys by himself. McDyess is too small for Bynum and Gasol, even though he got the tip in. Great play by him. Spurs play very good defense. They play really, really good team ball. But at the end of the day, the Lakers are built for the playoffs and the finals, folks. They're going to try to win the championship again. But, they're looking lethargic right now. They're tired. You know, you got to understand, guys. They've been to 3 NBA finals in a row. Okay, that's tough. You know, and the regular season is boring to these guys. You know, I'm not making excuses for them, but at the end of the day, I just don't see any team in the West beating the Lakers 4 out of 7. I don't. And despite the way the Spurs are playing, they beat them twice already. I know they won at in LA. I know they beat them bad in San Antonio. I know they got the best record. I know all these things. But these games in February don't mean anything in May. They don't, or April. So, in my opinion, Kobe Bryant still is one of the best players in the NBA. 1 through 12, I think the Lakers have probably the best team. It's either them or Boston. Spurs, you know, it won't be a big upset if the Spurs beat the Lakers. I'm not saying that, but I just still think at the end of the day the Lakers are a better team. But you know, like I said, we'll see in the second half of the season. Let's talk about these All-Stars real quick. The Eastern reserves and the Western reserves were announced. I wasn't really surprised about the East. I would like to see Josh Smith on that team. You know, I said this in a prior video, but I gave it some thought, and I'm not really mad about you know, the selections because Al Horford's playing well and Joe Johnson's playing well, even though he missed some games. You know, I wouldn't have been mad though if Josh Smith was on that team, but you know, you can't go wrong with the 4 you know, Boston players, and Chris Bosh rounds out the 7-man bench. You know, I'm not mad about that team. You know, like I said, Josh Smith has been playing real great, but you know, who are you going to take off this team? So I'm okay with the East team. Now the West team, you know, I have a little gripe with this. First of all, let's start with the starters. Yao Ming should not have been selected to the All-Star team. I mean, this is obviously obvious. He's only played a handful of games, folks. You know, they have to change the way the fans are voting for the team, for the players. I think there has to be a minimum amount of games played. I think it should be anywhere between 65 and maybe 80% of the, you know, the first 41 games or something like that. They got to come up with a number. You got to have a minimum games played to be an All-Star. You know, just because you're a good player and you have a name, don't mean you're an All-Star. You know, just like I said with the Lakers and the Spurs, you know, the Lakers being the better team and the Spurs playing better. You know, there are players out there right now on the East and the West that didn't make it that are All-Stars. But, folks, there's only 12 roster spots, and there's going to be players that are not going to make it. And it's unfortunate that Yao Ming got voted in. I mean, it's just a testament of him, how great he is, but he just didn't play enough games. But I have a big gripe. First of all, Kevin Love should be an All-Star. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Now, commissioner is going to choose the alternate for Yao Ming, and if he doesn't pick Kevin Love, it's just going to be a travesty. I mean, it really is. He's doing things that haven't been done in years. I mean, he's averaging over 15 rebounds a game, folks. 15 rebounds a game. I mean, that's unheard of in today's NBA. You know, players don't do that nowadays. It's only been done a few times in the last decade or so. And the players that have done it are not scoring at the clip that Kevin Love is. I mean, the only player that can score like Kevin Love and get this many rebounds is Moses Malone. And even with Moses Malone, he couldn't do what Kevin Love does, and that's shoot threes. I mean, Kevin Love can shoot 3-pointers too. Now, I understand he's on a bad team, and they got a losing record and everything else, but that's not his fault, folks. I mean, it's a team sport. I know that. But this right here, the All-Star team, the All-Star game is for entertainment, and it's to recognize our best players in our league. And Kevin Love is one of the best players in our league. And it's just a travesty that he did not get voted in by the coaches. You know, now he'll probably get voted in by the commissioner. You know, and if he doesn't, that'll be a shame. But you know, some of you guys are probably wondering, you know, who I would take off. There's a lot of players that are All-Stars, like I said before, that are just not going to make it. There's always going to be players that just didn't make it, just because there's not enough roster spots. But if I had to take one player off to put Kevin Love on, besides the alternate with Yao Ming, it would be Pau Gasol. In my opinion, Lamar Odom should be on there before Pau Gasol. That's my opinion. You know, but if I had to take one off, it'd be Pau Gasol. He's been inconsistent. He has not been playing very, very well down the stretch of games. Pau Gasol has not been consistent. I mean, he's shooting well from the field, but you know, you can't just look at the numbers. You know, you got to figure out when they're scoring and stuff like that. And he has not been a big of an impact on his team as Kevin Love has. I mean, he really hasn't. He hasn't even been a big of an impact as Lamar Odom has, as I said before. So to me, Pau Gasol should not have been selected. It should have been Kevin Love selected, and then the alternate for Yao Ming should be Lamar Odom, in my opinion. Either Lamar Odom or LaMarcus Aldridge. You can, flip a coin there. LaMarcus Aldridge has been playing very, very well too. So it's going to be interesting to see what the commissioner has to say about that. All right, let's talk about Blake Griffin for a minute. Congratulations to him. He made the All-Star team in his rookie season. He's done something that hasn't been done since the 1998 season. I think he deserves it. I really do. And I'm going to tell you guys why. This is a players' league, folks. The NBA is a players' league. It's an entertainment league. It's a money league. Bottom line is it's a business, and the NBA is here to make money by entertaining you with players. The reason why SportsCenter, NBA TV, and stuff like that show highlight dunks, alley-oops, and things like that, because that's what the people want to see. And the All-Star game are for the people. It's for us. The high-flying dunks, the showmanship, and stuff like that. There has been no player better in the NBA right now than Blake Griffin. I mean, he's got the most dunks. He's got the most highlight plays. I mean, he's been the most exciting basketball player by far as highlight plays are concerned. LeBron James is still, to me, the MVP. Has been the most consistent. But Blake Griffin, the numbers he's putting up is ridiculous. He's averaging over 20 points, 12 rebounds. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. It's not just his highlights. He's playing great, great basketball. Now, I understand his team is not doing very well, but if Blake Griffin's not an all-star, is not the definition of an all-star, I don't know what is. Now, some of you are probably saying, well, Kevin Love is the exact opposite. He's not that entertaining and stuff like that, and I understand that. But Kevin Love's stats and his consistent play, he's got to be an all-star. These two guys are two contrasting styles. Kevin Love right now is playing better than Blake Griffin. He is. He's got better stats. His team is not doing better than Blake Griffin's team, but right now Kevin Love's having a better season. He's having the best season as a power forward in the West, maybe in the NBA. With that being said, Blake Griffin, in my opinion, definitely deserves it. The fans want to see him, and also, folks, the game is in LA. It's just going to be a storybook game. I don't know if he's going to play in the rookie sophomore game anymore because he's on the All-Star team, but we'll see. But he's going to be in the slam dunk competition. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you think. If Blake Griffin should have made it, if Kevin Love should have made it, what you think about the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic and LeBron. Tell me what you guys think about the Lakers and the Spurs, the All-Star team, and whatever else is going on in the NBA. Okay? Thanks, guys. Take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you guys soon. And don't forget, if you can believe it, you can do it. Thanks for watching. You guys know I appreciate it. And remember, folks, always treat people how you want to be treated, and everything will be okay. This is NBA Jerry, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.